We tossed around the word faith a lot, and we usually think of it as just, well, a simple belief. But what if it's something way more? What if it's a connection so powerful that could totally reshape your reality? Today, we're diving deep into the meaning of Iman, a concept that aims to do exactly that.
All right, so where do we even begin? Well, our source material kicks things off with the most fundamental question of all. What is faith really?
Now, before we get into the weeds, it's really important to get our approach straight. We're not about to get bogged down in legal technicalities or abstract rules. Nope. Instead, we're exploring faith as a real, lived experience. What it is, what its value is, and the actual impact it can have on a person's life.
And that brings us right to the core definition we're working with. Faith, in this view, isn't just a fleeting thought in your head. It's an active connection. It's like building a bridge from our small, temporary human existence to the infinite, eternal reality that started it all. Just think about that for a second. A direct line between you and eternity itself.
Okay, so you have this connection. So what? What does it actually do for you? Well, the first major thing it does is completely blow the doors off your personal universe. It's not just some internal feeling. It literally shatters the way you see everything around you. You know, without this kind of connection, it's easy to feel trapped inside a tiny shell, limited by our own short life and our own small world. But faith, as it's described here, just smashes that shell. And all of a sudden, you're not this isolated little being anymore. You're part of something massive. You're woven right into the fabric of the entire cosmos. And when that perspective shifts, everything changes. As the source so beautifully puts it, life isn't this short, anxious struggle anymore. It starts to feel more like a joyful journey, even a friendship with the entire universe. It's about a deep, profound sense of belonging.
Now, this cosmic connection has a pretty radical side effect. See, once you feel truly connected to the infinite, you're no longer controlled by all the finite things in the world. And this is where faith becomes this incredibly powerful force for personal freedom.
Just look at the contrast here. On one side, you have a life that's basically a prison, where you're being pulled in a million different directions, by people, by power, by your own desires. It's a world where people are not seen as equal. But on the other side, faith cuts all those strings. It frees you from every single master except the one creator. And in doing that, it establishes a radical truth that all human beings are fundamentally equal. And let's be clear, this isn't just some political idea or social theory. The source really stresses that this is a freedom that is born from within. It's a state of being that bubbles up directly from your own conscience when it connects with that single higher truth.
Okay, so once this inner freedom takes root, what happens next? Well, faith doesn't just stop there. It actively gets to work, shaping and elevating a person's character from the inside out.
So we have to ask the question, right? If faith grants you this incredible freedom, how does that actually change you as a person? How does it show up in the real world as a more dignified, elevated character?
The source points to some really powerful effects. It all kicks off with self-respect, truly seeing yourself as a dignified creation. That's backed up by a constant awareness that you're being watched by a higher power, which naturally helps purify your actions. This dignity makes you feel responsible for your choices, and it frees you from all that petty greed and envy of the daily grind. And at the very center of it all is a direct, personal line to the Creator. No middlemen needed.
Now, to make this point even sharper, the source material draws a strong contrast. It places this view against philosophies it connects to thinkers like Darwin, Freud, and Marx. The source argues that these other frameworks can sometimes frame our flaws and baser instincts as just a natural, unavoidable part of being human. The path of faith, on the other hand, is presented as a constant call to rise above those instincts. But here's the crucial point. This whole inner transformation, this freedom, this elevated character, it can't just stay bottled up inside as an idea. It demands to be expressed. It has to show up on the outside as action. And this is such a foundational idea. You see it repeated over and over again in the Quran. Belief and action are two sides of the same coin. Faith, or Iman, is almost always mentioned right alongside Amal Salih, which means righteous deeds. This is such a great way to think about it. Faith is like the deep, strong root system of a tree, hidden underground. And good deeds, well, they're the natural, visible fruit that the tree produces. The source argues you just can't have one without the other. True, healthy faith will always, always blossom into good actions. And this all comes together in what the source presents as a complete roadmap to success, drawn from the Quranic chapter Al-Ash. It all starts with personal Iman, or faith.
That faith naturally leads to good deeds. But see, it doesn't just stop with you as an individual. It expands into a collective mission to advise each other towards what's true and to encourage each other to have patience along that tough road. It's a journey from a single belief to building a strong, supportive community.
So if we really take this powerful metaphor to heart, that our inner beliefs are the root and our actions are the fruit, it leaves us with one simple but pretty profound question to ask ourselves. What exactly is growing from our tree?